I'm going to ask Jesus a question, just to trick him. Jesus, what do I need to do to live forever?
You already know the answer from the Bible. What do the scriptures tell you?
Well, in the Bible, God tells us to love him with our whole heart, and with what's in our soul, and with all our strength, and with all of our brain. Love him with everything you have, and love your neighbour as you love yourself.
That is exactly the answer I would give too. If you do these things, you will live forever with God.
Well then, who is my neighbour?
Once there was a man travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho. It is a dangerous road, but the man thought he was being brave. As he walked along,
he was surprised by a gang of robbers.
Oh dear, a gang of robbers! I'm surprised.
The robbers beat him up. The robbers stripped him and took his clothes. When the robbers thought that he was dead, they left him.
I was in agony with broken bones, but I wasn't dead. I could not see clearly, but I did make out a priest walking down the road. I shouted, "Help! Help me! Help!"
The priest saw the man lying in a heap in the gutter. The priest thought to himself, I might make myself dirty if I help him. Well, he looks dead anyway. And so the priest passed by on the other side of the road.
Help! I could not believe it. That was so mean for a priest. As time passed, I was having more difficulty breathing, and I was starting to get cold, when I saw another religious man walking up the road.
That is when a temple worker came past. He saw the man in a heap in the gutter, and he thought to himself, well, I'm already late for my work, and I will get into trouble if I stop and help. Well, he looks dead anyway. And so, like the priest, the temple worker walked past on the other side.
I was rather disappointed by the temple worker. After he'd gone, I was there a very long time. Everything went black, and I knew that my time had come.
And that is when the Samaritan came walking by.
A Samaritan? Oh no, Samaritans are bad people. Nobody likes them. He'll only take anything that I have left and probably stab me to make sure I'm dead.
The Jews and the Samaritans did not get along. They had been enemies for years and years. But when the Samaritan saw the man lying in the gutter, he said,
"Oh dear, there's a man lying in the gutter over there. I have my best clothes on, and I am already late for my meeting, but he looks dead already. I had better check with him to see if there's anything I can do to help."
And that is when he bent down and found that the man was still breathing. Just. The Samaritan laid the man more comfortably. The Samaritan cut up his tunic to make bandages for the injured man. The Samaritan wiped away the blood with his hand and poured soothing oil on the wounds.
It was very, very painful, but the Samaritan put me on his donkey and took me to an inn. I tried to say that I could not pay for an inn, but I couldn't speak. However, the Samaritan gave the innkeeper 2 silver coins for my care, and the Samaritan promised to come back the next day to see me and pay more if it was needed. I was so happy when I wasn't moaning in pain.
When Jesus had finished telling the parable, he turned to the religious man and asked,
Which of the men who passed by was a neighbour to the man who had been beaten?
The religious man was very shamefaced because he did not want to say it was the Samaritan.
It was the one who helped him, the last one.
Jesus laughed and turned to the crowd and said,
That is the answer I would have given. Now you can all go and do the same.
There once was a man who had to go on a journey from Jerusalem to Jericho. So he packed all his things and he went on his way. But little did he know the trouble he'd have that day. Yeah. He was walking along by the rocks and the trees when all of a sudden he was dumped on by thieves. And they hit him and they kicked him and they tore all his clothes and they took all his money and they left him in the road. But love is shown by what we do. What we do. By how we care for one another. One another. Love your neighbor. Well, that neighbor's me and you. Me and you. We got to love our sister and a brother. Well, he'd given up all hope when he saw another man who was coming towards him, a Samaritan. Now the Jews don't like Samaritans, Samaritans don't like Jews, so would he help him or leave him? What would he choose? Well, he picked him up and he brushed him down. He cleaned him up and took him to the town. He took him to the hospital and stayed there all night. And he gave him some cash and made sure he was alright. 'Cause love is shown by what we do.